Hello and welcome to this table podcast unboxing video for Guild Ball Union starter set. So this is the Union team. I've got this team because already I have Mr. Rage, Miss Gutter and Decimate, and they are my mercenaries from the Union I use for the butchers. So the way Guild Ball set it up is very clever, is they encourage you to buy a couple of Union players. Why not just buy the starter set? So here we go, this is the starter set. So let's see what we've got. So in this starter set, we have 3 characters, which is what you normally get. You get your captain, which is Blackheart, the Pirate King. You get Coin, which is the mascot, which in this case is the snake. And you also get, apologies if I say this wrong, Avarice and Greed, which is actually the only 2-for-1 players you actually get in Guild Ball. And what this means is you can actually detach them from each other and run them separately. And I'm hoping, well, this is looking, you do get an extra character to actually play with, in which case that means you actually get an extra activation on your opponents within the game. So let's see what we get. So this is the starter set. So get rid of that bit. Okie doke. There's a lot of metal in here. So let's start with the mascot. This is Coin, the mascot. So here's the snake for the Union. If I find his card as well. So here's his card. So Coin, he's quite quick. He doesn't have a lot of attack. He only has 2. He's got a 4-up and a 4-up defense with 1 arm, which is quite decent. The 2 things he does have, which is quite good, is Bag of Coffers, which is bonus influence and bonus time. So bonus time normally costs you 1 momentum and gives you a bonus dice for something. So this is really good because he can slither around the pitch and really boost where you need it. And also, if you've put your influence in the wrong place, he can really give that extra influence to someone. His other thing is follow-up. Now what that means basically is he can pursue someone. So if someone thinks they're getting out of your tackle zones and stuff, he can actually get hold of them and keep them there. He does have a 2-inch melee zone, and I'll come back to that, because one of the things you can do with the Union is basically have a team, other than the captain, of 2-inch melee zones. And one of the things with Guild Ball, obviously, is the control of space and the pitch is actually really, really important. It doesn't have a great playbook results, as you can see. His only momentous thing is hamstring, not the best. It does have tackle and 1 on 1, but he only gets 2, so it's unlikely he's going to be doing a lot. But he will be there to lend assists and obviously give us Bag of Coffers. In terms of the model quality, he does come up with a 30mm base. It does fit over it. The model itself, as you can probably see, is quite good in terms of detail. I can't see a lot of flash on it. I can't see a lot of things that need cleaning up. In fact, pretty much, I think that model will just glue straight onto the base. Nothing else to do there. So next up, we're going to have Blackheart. Blackheart is the captain of the team. So like most captains, he's actually a really, really good player. So he's got a 5-7 move, which is about standard. Attack 6, which is quite strong. His kick is 3-6, so he's half decent kicking. This is the interesting one, is defense and armor. So with 3 up and 2 armor, he's quite tanky, so he can take a lot of damage. Because even if you're rolling, even a ball comes in, you're rolling 8 attack dice, you might get 5 or 6 hits, or you're suddenly down to 3 hits, pretty much with the 2 armor and stuff. His other interesting thing is he's got Shadow-like. Now what this means is he can always dodge 2 inches. Now he's got a 2-inch melee zone. So what that means basically is he can get around the board really quick. It also means you can every turn dodge 2, charge back in for 2 influence, and you're getting 10 attack because you're getting your bonus 4. His legendary also is really good because what it can do is can either really help you in defense if you're playing butchers or brewers, or you get a 2-inch dodge for the whole team. Now what this basically means is with your 8-inch pulse, when you use the rest of the team, you miss your snakeskin, etc. They're already really good at dodging. He's really good at dodging. Everyone can just get away then. In terms of his play, as you can see, there's a lot of dodges. the arrows going to the left. He does do damage, but he needs a lot of hits to do it. His misdirection is good because it robs influence from the enemy and gives it to you, but it's really expensive. It costs 4. It could be good if you want to control an enemy rage or an enemy boar who only get 1 influence on enemy, but other than that, it's quite expensive. His commanding aura is basically what Ox, the Butcher Captain, has in terms of bonus damage and things. Really good player. It's what you'd expect from a captain. So let's see the model himself. Obviously comes with a 30mm base. Oh, his head's separate. That's the first time I've seen his head. Okay, so his cloak for the Union is detail. You can see the detail on there. He's obviously in a pose. He's got his sword and he's got his head. I mean, in terms of the quality, I'm hoping you can see that on there. Again, really good quality. There doesn't seem to be a lot of flash to clean. Obviously, there's little pieces up here. But in terms of most of it, it looks pretty much like that'll just glue straight on. Oh, there's his second arm. I wonder what that was. Again, other than a little bit on the cloak, he's pretty much going to glue on there. Now, this is the interesting one. So this is Avarice and Greed. Now, interesting thing is they come together and they attach. I don't know why I'm doing that because they won't attach anymore. But you can separate them. Now, if you separate them, Greed, he does only have 4 health. So that means he can obviously die really quick and give up 2 points to your enemy. Obviously, the game's only up to 12. However, it also means if you can put him at the back where he's safe, potentially, it gets you the 7th activation in your turn, and you can really use that to a tactical advantage. These guys can also play for any guild as well. They can also do this for all guilds. And as it says, bench, this model does not start on the pitch and does not count towards your maximum team allowance. This is where you get 7 players on the pitch, basically. Once per activation, this model may suffer 3 damage to gain plus 3 attack. Now, he only has 4. In theory, he could do this. That gives him 8 attack. So he's exactly the same as Boar. It does leave him on 1 health. Now, if you needed to finish someone off, 8 attack, fantastic. Would you do it? It's a big, big risk. In terms of the plays, obviously, Avarice has got a lot of damage. His momentum's all about pushing and damage. Greed is about dodges. And if you look, Greed's obviously got a lot more because of that craziness. He can have the 8. They do only have 1-inch melee ranges, which obviously isn't as good as some of the Union players. Would I use them? Possibly. My only concern with the big guys when it's 2 up defense and no armor is the fact that they give up momentum really easy to your enemy. They're so easy to hit. Now, the only good thing is obviously he's got Tough Hide. Tough Hide, in my opinion, is one of the better and more powerful character traits in the whole game, because it takes 1 off damage every character play or playbook damage. Now, a lot of teams, whether it's fishermen, for example, can't do a lot of damage anyway. So you can pretty much survive. But against people like Butchers, 2 up to be hit, no armor, that one's not going to do a lot for you. So having a look here, and this is the interesting one, I think, for the Union. Right, so we get a nice 40mm base. And obviously we get Avarice. So he's the big guy. You'll probably notice in the middle of a chest there's got a bit of a hole. Again, there's not a lot of flash. I always love Guild Ball because they put studs on the bottom, even though you'll never see it. They put that in there. Now, here's his stomach. And interestingly, they supply you with 3 magnets. Now, I was not expecting that. I was expecting to have to magnetize this myself. But they give you 3 magnets. Now, what that is for is he's got his own stomach, which is this one. And he's also got a stomach with Greed on him as well. Now, when Greed's on him, obviously he sits in. And when you detach Greed, you can then use the magnets to put his stomach back on. It's that way, isn't it? Put his stomach back on. And then Greed runs around on his own. So Greed will be on his own 30mm base. Obviously, he's got a couple of arms you can use there, and Greed's got his own arms with a few weapons and his feet. I was expecting to have one greed on foot, one greed attached. What I was not expecting was the extra section for his stomach, so you can swap out, and these magnets. I'm very surprised by that. I'm glad they've done it, but I'm very surprised. In terms of the Union as well, just while we're talking about Union, I'll give you little bonuses. I've also picked up Snakeskin. So this is one of the players, Snakeskin, so we're going to see this for the first time together. So Snakeskin has got a 6/8, really quick. Attack 5, 3, 6, 4 up, influence 2. Gives out poison. Interesting. Again, anything that gives out conditions is really good because it really drains the momentum from your opponent. Again, just like your captain, you've got a Shadow-like, which is a 2-inch dodge. Absolutely fantastic. It means your team aren't going to get hit. They're not going to get bogged down in a fight, particularly against butchers and brewers. Nimble gains defense, but you're probably dodging out anyway, so you may not need the defense. And again, there's a lot of momentum around tackles, getting the ball back, off you go, dodging. The clone can be good if you get into a fight, but in theory, with your Shadow-like and quite a lot of movement, you should be getting out of there. In terms of the model, it's actually, it's actually all one big piece if you look. So there's the model itself, Snakeskin, with the cloak, and the only extra bits you get really are the swords and the legs. So there's not a lot of posing options. It is what it is. Comes with a 30mm base, and that's Snakeskin. The final player I've got to show today is Hemlock. Now, Hemlock is someone I've sort of overlooked. However, I've been playing a few games, and Hemlock has become, quite quickly, the best player on the pitch for me, and the one I'm actually looking forward to using most of the thing with the Union. So, if I go through his, no, female, her stats, 6'8", so quite quick, 3 attack, pardon me, so it doesn't look much, a 3-6 kick, so decent, but quite short-ranged. Defense, now this is the important one, 6 up defense. So pretty much with Hemlock, you can go and stand in the open. Most people may get 1 hit, may get no hits. 6 up is absolutely fantastic, and if you can boost it with momentum, you know, when you're hitting on 7s, it's taking your dice down, you're hitting on 6, actually take the damage. Now obviously, if you can get hold of Hemlock, she's only got 10 health, she will go down. However, Magical Brew, she can get rid of all conditions. This is like the Brewers, for example. So poisons, burnings, knockdowns, and bleeds, just get rid of them straight away. Her playbook isn't brilliant. She does have a 2-inch melee zone again. Obviously momentum for tackle and dodges. However, her character plays, I think, are the best on any one player in the whole game. Blind is fantastic. It's an AoE, costs 1, and it not only reduces movement for your enemy, -4/-4, reduces 4 attack. For example, you're playing Boar with the Butchers. Throw one of this on a 2-up. Boar suddenly has a 0/2-inch move, and it's down to 4 attack. Boar's going to be negated. There's nothing Boar's going to do to you. Smelling Salts can be good. It recovers 2 HP and removes all conditions. Personally, I probably won't use it a lot, only because of the cost is 2, and I'd rather use a Blind and this particular one. Noxious Blast. It's an 8-inch range, so it's quite far. It will do 2 damage and poison. It also remains up in the ongoing, will give poison. Now again, if you're on Union with Rage will just walk through. So you can actually throw this into battles like Rages and start dishing out poisons. So Hemlock, if you can get the ball to her, I don't think he's going to lose the ball a lot. Plus, if you do come in and she does a counterattack, only needs 1 hit to get the momentous tackle, to get the tackle and get the ball back. In terms of the model, again, like Snakeskin, there's not a lot of posing options. She comes in, you can basically just glue a leg on and 1 arm, and that's it. It's a solid model. But again, the quality of Guild Ball models is fantastic. There's not a lot to clean up. There's not a lot to change. She comes on with a 30mm and has a 2-inch reach. Really looking forward to getting these guys done, particularly the big guy. Can't wait for him, and the captain. And I'm looking forward to getting my games in with them. And that is the Union Starter Set unboxing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure there'll be more up in the future. Cheers, bye.